Yo, Lucky Lefty Podcast. Happy Thursday, everyone. The Onora boys are in the building, and we're brought to you by Onora Whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. It is that premium American whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. And if you drink, make sure that you do so.
Responsibly.
You got to do it responsibly. Left, we're going to get to an interesting topic that you brought up pre-show. But I want to thank LL Nation and the chat each and every day. Great conversations surrounding golf. We got great comments on Twitter, Instagram, and on the YouTube channel as well. Post show, people chimed in with the all time offensive group, the all time 11 for Notre Dame on offense. We'll release our all time defense next week on next Wednesday. And next Wednesday we will also have a special guest. I think the special guest could be considered at a certain position offensively to possibly be an all-time favorite of some Notre Dame fans. So that should be pretty interesting. We'll release the defense next week and have our special guest. I will say this. I look to my right, sun is shining, 60 degrees. I'm pulling the sticks out this weekend, Left.
Oh yeah. See, I was just
Yeah.
some homeboys. We should get a golf in the country club. I was like, we getting older, man. I think it'd be a good thing. Because I was like saying, it's either do that or go the Equinox route. Because the Equinox route is
Well, you don't necessarily have to do a country club. You can just get a membership at a course.
Yeah, true.
Right.
Okay, there you go.
Like they usually sell them. Some of them sell them monthly. Some of them sell them per round. So you get 10 rounds per month at this discounted rate. You know, my father he was just being over the top. That's why he almost
I
ended
need
up
the
in
whole
divorce
package.
court. That's why he almost ended up in divorce court.
He said, "Oh no, I don't want the basic. I want the full-time member
Right,
with all the amenities. Like, let me
right,
go do this. Like,
right. Now I will forewarn you, Left. Let me forewarn you about the most addictive things.
okay,
The three most addictive things in golf. It absolutely makes no sense. It doesn't. But I think you might be safe. The number three most addictive thing in golf is the apparel.
oh really? Oh, like making sure you have your fit.
Golf apparel can have you swaggy, bro.
Yeah.
And if you matchy like me,
Now, are you
that
polo
means
too
that
or
means that
polo Nike?
means no, I was polo Nike. But you have to understand, I started playing when the Tiger Woods line was out.
The red with the white stripes,
So
the
they had
classic.
so they had me Left. They had me. They had me, bro. I was a sucker.
Nike marketing was too good.
I was the sucker they were waiting for all day long. I was the sucker they
He
were
said
waiting
this
for.
was for Shaun for sure. He gonna eat this up. And then
Absolutely.
they said, yeah, that's when they had those cold Nike Tiger commercials.
Dude. So at first I had the Foot Joys. Now, you know, these are the shoes I'm going into. Right?
Yeah.
I had the Foot Joy golf shoes, regular tie-ups, you know, boring, you know. Then they came out with the Tiger Wood Nike Slide, where you can slide your feet into
Ooh.
them. You don't have to worry about laces.
It felt better than church shoes.
Bruh. But then I had to get the black ones, and then I had to get the brown ones because I'm matchy,
That's right.
right? So I have to have different. I'm just
So
man.
you
That's
really
all.
have outfits like club outfits.
Yes,
Like,
apparel,
yeah.
golf apparel. You got to watch it, bro. You have to watch it. The second most, and this makes absolutely no sense. The second most addictive, top-notch golf courses.
Mm.
Because when you start out Left, you're gonna start out on a municipal course, you know, where you might get $12 for a 18 holes. You
Okay.
know, it's a county course. You know what I'm saying? And here, our first round was at Joe Lewis. the city of Chicago, county course, city of Chicago, Cook County. I think it was like $13 for 18 holes.
Something like.
Yeah. Then you upgrade, you might pay like $30 for a round of golf. But then you mess around and go to like TPC Scottsdale.
Oh yeah, I've actually been there, but not the golf.
Dude.
It's just a great experience.
And you go to pay and they ring you up and they say something like 125. And
you
at
just walk
first,
in the door.
at first you're like 125. But then you walk out on the course and just all the amenities and it gets addictive. So now you start planning like golf trips with your boys based upon like
The
top notch
amenities.
and top notch golf courses. It can become addictive, bro. It can become it. But I say get you a home course that's by the crib.
Yeah.
Something that would give you
That's a getaway course.
$20 to $40 in that range every time you play. And once they get to know you, they'll give you like a discount. If you pull up at 5 o'clock, and let's say sunset is at like 7:42, man, the dude at the registration area might just tell you, man, give me $10.
That's
Yeah,
smart.
that's relationship when you get to know them, because they know, it's people in front of you. You might not even finish, so I don't want you to pay the full price. Number one, left the number one most addictive thing in golf, bro. The goddamn golf clubs. Boy, me and my father was buying new golf clubs like it was cars, bro.
Wait a minute.
Bro,
Like you had more than one driver?
bro. My father to this day probably has 5 different sets of golf clubs in his garage.
5 different sets.
Yeah, he gives golf clubs away, bro.
What's the
He'll give them
logic
away.
behind it?
They don't judge me, bro.
Okay.
Golf clubs are pretty, bro. Don't judge me. LL Nation, don't judge me, man. Notre Dame fans, don't judge me out there. We're gonna get to the Notre Dame talk in a second.
This is
let's
why
get
this is
through
why
this.
it gets to divorce court, because we talk about some
Dude. They're pretty, bro. My first driver I bought was a gold and black ping driver. 440i.
Mm.
Then I went to Golf Galaxy like a couple of months later, bro. And I saw this purple Callaway Big Bertha driver.
Mm.
And man, it had the purple metallic. It was just pretty. It was pretty. It was calling me, left.
You could just see yourself swinging that thing and
man,
it's just listening through the night.
Man, Double Down. See, Double Down knows what I'm talking about. Double Down knows what I'm talking about, bro. Double Down knows what I'm talking. Left.
Something about it.
But then I couldn't just get the driver and not get the irons, left.
Yeah, it's like you can't mismatch now. So
I
now
can't have ping irons with my Callaway driver. That
no, because somebody might say that doesn't match,
man,
and that can be distracting while you golf,
bro. But then it wasn't enough. No.
So you done got the apparel, you done got the nice courses.
Yes.
The clubs is where you want it. I don't know how I can get much worse.
Oh, it's worse, bro. Because
so the expenses a month for golfing just increased as it went on.
Mm-hmm.
Probably spend $500 a month. Then it went to equipment included.
Bro.
Then you threw a trip in there. Then you messed around, did a round robin.
Then somehow, some way, I walked in and TaylorMade had this new technology with their drivers where you could customize your driver before each round.
Wait a
Like,
minute.
bro, they literally give you this screw, and you can customize whether you know you want it to be a fade face on your driver or a draw face on your driver.
Oh
It was
man,
the
no
R. It
way.
was the TaylorMade R7 driver. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it.
You're like, they keep coming out with more than
I,
I need. I didn't even know I
dude,
needed this.
I'm telling you, the technology in golf, will man, is gonna blow your mind, bro. It's gonna
And
captivate
you
you
like, this
and
can give
just
me
take
the
all your
advantage I
money.
need.
It's gonna captivate you and take all of your money, all of your money. So
Worse than
no, I'm not.
gambling. Huh?
Now my dad, he's just buying. He's just buying. I'm trading in. So I'm trading my stuff in.
Oh, okay. You trade
Yeah, I'm trading my clubs in for the next clubs. My pops is just like,
hoarding them. He's having a
yo,
closet full.
app dude, just give me that one. Give me that one. And he was bad. He was buying stuff off infomercials on Golf Channel.
Oh, just
My
like he's
dad was
like
bad.
just
Oh
he,
yeah,
he
bro.
lost it. He's off the TV.
He he was out there, dude. He could have started his own resale shop.
So
So
so so the golf store, them big Bass Pro Shop size golf stores really be
don't go to Golf Galaxy ever,
oh,
bro.
that's the
Don't go to Edwin Watts. They're all the devil, bro. They're all the devil, bro.
you can't leave out of there without spending a couple hundred.
Dude, then how do you explain spending like coming back like, man, I traded my golf clubs in and I still spent 800.
I went in to get money and lost some more money in the process. Lost the money I got from returning it or
No, I
trading
did
it in.
now. And when I got my TaylorMades, those were the first set that I got cut for me, custom for me. And I've had them, I think this is going on year. It might be time while I'm sitting up here tripping. It might be time for some new ones because the R7s are pretty old. It might be, I think I've had them for like 10, 11
Talking
years.
yourself into it now. And you know what? Now I'm thinking about it. I do have some old. I need to go get. I gotta go to Golf Galaxy.
See, the R7s came down. Dude, wait a minute. I feel bad. The R7s came out in 2004, dude.
Mm. See, now it makes sense, right?
So I need some new clubs left. I need some new clubs left. And this is the crazy thing. My wife is on the floor, on the first floor with me. She's probably hearing me shaking her head. I need some new
This man just
clubs left.
convinced himself
I
that
got some
he needs.
2004s, bro. Come on, man.
That's almost 2 decades now.
I deserve to go to Golf Galaxy and get me some new clubs, man. Don't you agree, Notre Dame fans?
They said when you speak it and manifest it, it comes true. You gotta speak it into existence.
Dude, I mean, come on, bro. Do you think your 2004 vehicle would be driving as efficiently today as it was when it came off the lot?
See, you know what's even crazy is inconsiderate that nobody else thought of that for you.
That's what I'm saying.
They let you go 20 years.
You know what? Father's Day is coming up. You know what? You're right, Left. You're right, Left. That would be a thoughtful Father's Day gift, wouldn't it?
That'll make up 19 years of having the same drivers and clubs. That'll make it up.
I do custom set of TaylorMades because I'm a TaylorMade guy now.
You can't just get. You done seen too much. It can't be a standard set. I got it, man.
Yeah. I never purchased any Nike golf equipment though, as far as clubs.
Oh, you went to the golf people to get the golf clubs, not the good looking.
No, I'm just saying that Nike was just strictly apparel. See now the newest TaylorMade, stealth. Ooh, these are pretty. Man, let me get off of this website. Let me get off of this website, man.
You watching the tutorials?
Let me get off this website.
So nice. Because you know them golf commercials, they drop the science on why it's better than the metal they use, titanium. They done had this angle cut where
you got these in the chrome finish. Ooh, they got
Left. Thank God for Father's Day, I tell you that.
Let me get off of here, man.
and you accidentally hit the shared link. Hit the shared link to the missus down the hallway.
Oh man. Lucky Lefty podcast,
man. You gotta
man.
do how the girls do. You gotta leave hints on the refrigerator. Just put a big picture of a nice golf.
Jay Henry, give me some common sense and wisdom, Jay Henry. Jay Henry said left gassing you up, SD. I think you're right. I think my partner is gassing me up, bro.
Hey, what, 19 years been a long time, Shaun. A lot of golf that could have changed, you know.
Oh man. See, Cajun Irish, don't do that to me. I just brought up the stealth. I just looked at him. See what I'm saying, man? Cajun Irish, don't do that to me, bro.
He thought you would love the stealth ones.
He's like, yeah, you gonna love the stealth. Now, you know what's worse? This is what's worse, bro. The worst purchase that most regular golfers make. Honorable mention is the actual golf ball. Oh, you want the golf ball? You want the golf ball that Tiger plays with.
Oh yeah, see, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You want the pro. You want the Titleist Pro V1 because that's what the pros use. Knowing you don't have the speed, the club head speed to make the ball go 300 yards and use all the technology in the core.
You won't even get the most out of the purchase. You can't even get the most out of the purchase.
You have nothing to get the spin around the green, similar to them, but you just want it. You want that Pro V1.
It's like those balls are the only ones that will do. It's like I can't even look at the other regular ones because those are the ones that Tiger got. Why would I not want to be like Tiger?
Yo, man, I love this show. I love the chat, LL Nation and Notre Dame.
Oh, man.
Let me tell you. Yo, my father's, Old Grim, thank you for tapping in. My father's first clubs were actually Cobras. His first driver were Cobras. He moved on from the Cobras probably like a week. Man, my father has bought clubs in Vegas. He's bought clubs in Arizona. He's bought clubs in Florida.
That means the trips were fantastic. He said, I can't leave us.
I think he bought some clubs in Mississippi.
Oh, he get them like postcards.
Man, I'm telling you, he has given away at least 2 full sets of clubs and has 4 or 5 sitting in his garage right now. So, I mean, and I'm thankful, because this summer, for those who don't know, my dad overcame a 2-year battle with colon cancer. And just getting back to the pulpit this year. And he's just now traveling. I'll be traveling with him at the end of the month because he's back to doing conferences and everything and speaking engagements. And this is probably going to be his first summer since the pandemic, getting back on the golf course. You know what I'm saying? So it's I started with him, and it was weird being out there without him left.
Yeah,
when I would go, and
that's your buddy right there. Once you started this same, learned.
I used to catch a little attitude when he started playing with other people left. I did, man. I had to get over that. I had to check myself.
You just like, what you mean?
Because at first it was like, yo, you at least call me.
I could have came. I got my stuff right here.
Right.
Oh, it wasn't for me, huh? Oh,
right. And then when we had baby girl, it was just kind of like he just got all types.
Oh yeah, he just got all up beside himself. He was like, "Oh, you're busy.
You busy. You can't.
You wouldn't want to come. You be all right. You come next time."
Cajun Irish said eBay Golf is calling for you, SD. No, man.
Right.
Look,
that's right.
The worst thing they can do is tape up the club and put you in a simulator. Boy, I believe they soup up the simulator, dude. So meaning they can adjust the simulator, right? So even if you hit the ball and it's supposed to go 160, they can soup it up to make it go like 180, 200, right? So they'll put a new club in your hand.
Yeah, then
you
like,
swing it.
That's a 200 right there.
And you're like, oh man, I'm hitting this bad fella 260. And it's like, nah, player.
The golf simulators, you don't know what's real, what's fake now, man. You can't even.
And do you don't understand? I think a sleeve of because the two top selling balls were the Pro V1s and the Tiger Woods Nike balls, the tour editions. A sleeve of those bad fellas now, I think they cost like 18 for three.
Yeah, for 3.
See, that's why it's a send off. Because you're gonna lose at least 3 balls when you start. Minimum. More than that.
Damn.
Every round, you losing at least 3
So you
balls.
gotta buy 2 to
So you
even
gotta
feel like
have
you
at
bought
least
1.
you have to man, you have to at least have 6
You
just to make it through.
$36 in.
Ain't nothing worse than being with your foursome and halfway through 9 holes through. You like, man, can I borrow? You got a ball I can borrow?
Ooh, I know that. I know that's a pet peeve.
I used to scavenge each hole for balls, like man, just
It
in
gotta
case I
be
need
something.
one. When you're starting out, it's the best though. Lucky Lefty Podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe, share. Man, man, I'm bringing my clubs now. If you get into it when I come out there, I'm bringing my club.
No,
I'm just letting
please.
you know.
I'm about to get a membership with my boy Devin. You know, Devin Butler's out here. We about to go see what
D
we can
Butler's
do.
out there now?
He's an actor.
Okay.
He
Okay.
trying to be Denzel from DC.
That's what's up. He was
was-
coaching on the East Coast for a while, right?
Yeah, I mean, he was doing a little business, but he want to be on his Denzel from
This
John King.
Denzel stuff. I'm not mad at that.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, he get the headshots. I'm like, oh, you're serious. Once he moved out here and got some headshots, I said, oh yeah, you're not playing.
you know, the melanin is in Hollywood now, bro.
I'm telling you.
I'm
And
just
it's
saying.
it's interesting. It's your homeboy that you grew up with,
Yeah.
and he tell you want to be actor. You like, you ain't gonna be no actor, man. What you?
Thanks.
And he started showing. He in the movie with Amari Hardwick,
Yeah.
Ghost.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey, he's serious.
So hit that like button for us. It helps with our views, of course. Go ahead, subscribe, and then hit the notification bell. Every time we go live or we post a video, you'll know. And then every day you can download, set up for automatic downloads on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. CNB Nation in conjunction with Irish Breakdown. All of our great content, man. We greatly appreciate you guys. It's the Lucky Lefty Podcast, home of the misguided passion. We spin it different. So now we got to talk Notre Dame, right? But we're going to talk Notre Dame in the context of a conversation that Left brought up. And you said you saw a list that I guess Mad Dog Russo put up.
That's right.
So talk about it, Left. I can't wait to get into this with the chat.
So he had his top 10, top 5 playoffs list in professional sports.
Hmm.
And he had 5 was the NBA, 4 was the NFL, 3 was NHL, 2 was the NCAA tournament, men's and women's basketball, and then the first one was Major League Baseball. And I thought it was a super, of course, Stephen A was like, this is the trashiest list. And at first I thought so too.
Okay.
But when he explained it, it made me realize, okay, I can see where you're going if you're looking at it from I'm just trying to be entertained at the highest level with the hardest challenges. Of course, we know the NCAA men and women's is the most unpredictable tournament probably ever. That would be my number 1 if I had to rank them. Just because even what was it? The richest dude in Nebraska, what's his name? He put like $1 billion bounty if you can get the NCAA tournament right.
Yeah.
He knows it's impossible, but it's exciting nevertheless. I mean, you got all these teams coming. Anybody can win. Anybody can lose. You got San Diego State and Florida Atlantic in the Final Four.
Yeah.
I don't think that could happen in any other sport from a playoff perspective. Never happened in no football, So that made sense. Baseball was interesting because he was saying how, you don't have a clock to determine the winner, where every other sport does. You have to get 27 outs no matter
Yeah.
what.
Yeah.
And your pitcher, if he's hot during the playoff stretch, can upset. You can upset a 1 seed. And it's only 3 games. It ain't 7. So I thought that was interesting in terms of how hard it would be and exciting during it, and the fact that the playoffs for baseball is only 1 month, whereas the NBA is like 3 or 4 months. So I thought baseball was interesting. His hockey take was interesting because he said that you can get a hot goalie and go the whole way, because goalies are like the X factor in a playoff series, just like pitchers, in baseball. And I think hockey's pretty exciting in the playoff time. People get into it, but I didn't. Yeah, I think it is a challenge because you can be hot or cold with a goalie. I'm assuming, because everybody's professional.
Mhm.
NFL, he was like, man, it feels too rigged because a 1 seed like Kansas City would never lose to in the divisional round or in the first round of the playoffs. So he's like, you don't even need half the games. What I mean? You just get straight to and he was saying you can damn near predetermine before the season start who's going to be in the end, which is generally true. The last
Right.
6 years,
Yeah. Yeah.
like Kansas City was going back to back, or at least miss a year, but they've been in it every year, and you pretty much was right. Basketball, same thing. During the 2015-16 years, everybody know Golden State was going back to back to back. It wouldn't even know, the Orlando Magic was never a threat at any time during that point. So it has some sense, but I'm biased. I always put the NFL as my favorite to watch.
Let me tell you something, bro. There is no playoff that comes close to the NHL playoffs.
That'd
It's
be
not
your
even,
number one?
it's not even close. I'm trying to
Would it
tell
be
you,
close?
bro. Look, let me tell you something, man. The second to second intensity and drama of the NHL playoffs, where you see number 8 seeds beat number 1 seeds
All the
every
time.
year, all the
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
all the time. I just watched the Blackhawks dynasty get ruined because they won the cup,
Right.
came back the next year. They were the number 1 seed in the regular season
Yeah.
and got beat by the number 8 Nashville Predators.
Yeah. And he was saying the regular season don't even matter for NHL because the postseason is so randomized and intense,
Man, and that was my time at WGN, which is the home of the Blackhawks. So I experienced 2 Stanley Cup runs, bro.
Yeah, you
It's
actually was not
it's,
slated to
it's
win. I wasn't
different.
slated to win.
And the one that they lost in the Western Conference Finals in a game 7 in overtime to the LA Kings. That's how pressure packed
Yeah.
that bad fella is. I'm telling you, man. NHL number 1 for me.
Okay.
Playoffs, dude. Major League Baseball has been boring for like the last 5 years, bro. I don't know what he's talking about, man. He's talking about the format, okay. But baseball with these 4-hour games, I will say this: the Phillies, and what they did made this last playoff exciting. Like the Phillies versus the Braves was exciting. The Phillies versus the Padres, and then the World Series versus the Astros. It was dramatic. It was dramatic. It was a really because Bryce Harper was on one. See,
Yeah.
baseball needs stars
Yeah.
to make it exciting. Like when you had the Yankees on that run, Derek Jeter was doing something every Derek Jeter was just doing stupid stuff in the playoffs. That's what made it dramatic.
Yeah.
The players have to make it dramatic in baseball. I can't even tell you the dudes that's on the ice.
No. I can't
I
even
can't
tell
even
you.
tell
Yeah,
you the name.
I can't tell you two names.
Half of them. I found myself watching Colorado last year, just like,
Like, man, this is
yo,
a good
this
little match.
Colorado Tampa Bay series is lit. Tampa Bay series is lit. I'm telling you, man. NHL number one. Baseball will probably be 3 for me. NBA playoffs. Once you get to the conference finals,
Then it's all right, but not the last couple years because the Suns versus the Bucks championship was The
no,
Lakers
see, I
bubble.
disagree. Last year was a pretty good year because you had Anthony Edwards versus Ja Morant in the first round.
Oh yeah, I was talking about
with the
championship.
dads,
Yeah.
right? Then you had Ja Morant versus Steph in the second round. I don't know who Golden State played in the Milwaukee versus Boston.
Yeah, it's always
Was lit.
Milwaukee, Sixers, and Boston. Whenever they play in the playoffs, it's a good matchup.
Yeah.
And then whenever Miami sneaks in there. Other than that, I'm not watching the East.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the Sixers Boston or the Milwaukee Boston or Milwaukee Sixers matchup, whenever that is, because that's the best teams. And then on the West, I kind of want to watch all of them. The Suns, the Lakers, the Warriors. That's about it. Because the Mavs ain't making it.
And most people might find that surprising coming from me, but I'm telling you, man, hockey is the hockey playoffs. I'm talking about for the first game of the playoffs.
Intense.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
I never thought of it like that. Yeah.
Hockey is crazy, bro. I'm telling you, man. I've been to the United Center for the Bulls and the Blackhawks. A Bulls game is family night. A Bulls game is family night. That's like family night, date night.
Oh, okay.
Family night, date night, right? You go through the concessions, it's all nice and pretty, you know, all the good food. You come back the next night for the Blackhawks. It's kegs in the hallway.
Oh, people are serious.
Bro, it's like Animal House, bro. It's like a totally different vibe. And look, you don't understand this. If you go to a Bulls game, maybe 20% of the people in there have on a jersey. Maybe.
Wait, what?
If you go to a Bulls game,
you mean team apparel related or just
20%, 25%.
So people in there just in street clothes for real.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's date night and family night at the United Center. Bro, they lead the league in attendance like every year, and the team stinks.
Oh, because it's more of a social event.
Yes, the Bulls are like the greatest date night in Chicago, bro.
Because everybody gonna want to go. You gonna want to go.
Absolutely.
But you don't care about the win or loss.
Good ambiance, yeah, it's a great date night, bro. Because you're not watching the game, so you can have great conversation all night. And then United Center is a great place to go. The United Center has like these little bars, like you can leave your seat, and you and your date can go into the little bar
turning over
and chill. You're probably right. I'm just telling you how it is, bro. But you come back the next night for that Blackhawks game, it's kegs, the entire dude.
The whole arena thing.
Both sides of the hallway, kegs. Beer kegs, bro. It's wild. It's like Animal House. Everybody that walks through the gate has on a Blackhawks jersey. It's like
it's uniform. It's uniform.
If you don't have, they don't call it jerseys, they call them sweaters.
Oh, they call it
sweaters. They call sweaters. Hockey, they're not hockey jerseys. They're called hockey sweaters. If you don't have a hockey sweater on, bro, something's wrong with you.
Like people are like, what's?
Yeah, they're gonna look at you with the side eye for real. Like you need to go to the team store right now and buy a
You
t-shirt.
can't even sit around this if you're not red or black.
Exactly. It's bananas, bro. It's like a totally different vibe, everything.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Wow.
So hockey is the intensity of hockey is like, so we what's your ranking? You rank the professional sports. That's the LL question of the day. How would you rank the professional playoffs? Which leads us to Notre Dame. and the upcoming expansion of the playoffs. Um, Look, I had a great discount when I worked for WGN at that time
Hey,
from
that
the
jersey
extra
was hot
store.
too, man.
So
Everybody
I'm
went.
sitting on. I have the home, the road, and both of the. They played in South Bend.
Yep,
I have that joint
that's hard. That's a hard jersey.
and the black alternate. So four.
Oh,
My dad has two. He's so mad right now that Patrick Kane got traded.
yeah,
He's so man, he is heated. He is
man,
heated.
it's crazy. So the fandom of hockey really takes off in professional sports
Well,
from
literally,
that type of a track. I mean, Notre Dame has a pretty good turnout, but we not on campus talking about Notre Dame hockey all the time either.
yeah, I've been watching. I could honestly say I've been watching hockey because we always had cable, and everyone on the south side of Chicago wasn't really families didn't have cable back in the 80s and 90s. I was fortunate that I
I didn't
lived
had
in
a
a house.
fire stick back then.
No, there was no fire stick, bro. It's all you
No.
still people that live there like uh, well, man, it was just man. Black Hawks games were on there, so I grew up with like Larmer, Savard, like legends for the Black Hawks, bro. So I've always watched the Black Hawks. My first heartbreak was when they played I believe it was 93, 92. They went to the Stanley Cup against the Penguins, bro. And we went up there for game one and we jumped out to a 5-1 lead on Mario Lemieux and Yarmir Yager, bro. I'm talking trash. I'm like, these dudes trash. We talking trash. We had Eddie Belfour and yeah, bro. And they came back and won that game 8-6, dude.
It was all bad after that,
I was crushed.
huh?
I was crushed. But yeah, I would say Patrick Kane, um, the Blackhawks for a long time didn't put their home games on TV to try to force people to come to the United Center or the Chicago Stadium. And once old man Wirtz died, Rocky Wirtz changed that when he took over. And when he changed that, and Jonathan Taves and Patrick Kane, that's when black people in Chicago started paying attention to hockey. It literally, they created a whole new fan base after old man Wirtz died. So that's the question of the day. Break down your playoff listing of the best playoffs. Where does Notre Dame sit, and where will the college football playoffs after expansion? Where do you think they'll sit? Because right now the football playoffs have to be at the bottom of the list because they have not been dramatic at
College
all.
football was right. Yeah, they've been the most predictable playoff system, professional
Yeah,
and amateur. I mean,
yeah,
we knew Georgia was going to win 3 years ago, back to back.
mm, yeah,
We
yeah.
knew a year ahead of time they were going to win back to back the 2 years after that year.
Facts. I
And
just
damn, they could
wonder.
do it again.
I wonder with expansion, will the first round be more exciting now with the expansion? I think with the expansion, the first round matchups might actually raise the level of the college football playoff to where it might be. Can it ever be top three? Mm, I don't know if it could ever be top three, bro. Because hockey, I would put baseball at three right now. NFL playoffs. That first wild card weekend is bananas.
Yes,
Now
the
it's
last
tough.
couple of years.
At first, I would say, are we putting March Madness in this?
Well, March Madness will be 2 for me.
Okay. Because if you put March Madness in this, the two
Okay.
greatest days in tournament or playoffs is the first day of March Madness
Oh yeah.
and the first day of the
NFL
NFL
playoff.
wild card. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
yeah. NFL wild cards definitely,
Yes, sir.
and that game specifically because those teams are actually playing super hard to get into the playoffs. And similar to the tournament, the NCAA tournament, I think the first round, the play-in tournament for the NBA has been kind of good.
Mm,
Like if the Lakers had to have a play-in tournament this year, it would be nice to watch.
they took that L last night. That's all I know.
They getting ready for Friday. They trying to beat KD, the real team. We ain't worried about
Well,
them.
first of all, they're not beating Phoenix.
Why
You
not?
stop that. Okay.
We have a better chance of beating Phoenix than losing to Milwaukee.
Mm. If you say so. Lucky Lefty podcast.
In LeBron, we trust. What do you say? Zero
Yeah,
dark 30?
you go ahead and trust in him then. And whatever book he fake reads this playoff.
So we just sticking to basketball. On court, he's the man.
I do think because Notre Dame more than likely will be part of that first weekend because they won't be allowed to be in the top four. Excuse me. The matchup is going to be the fact that Notre Dame is going to be part of it. I wonder if it's going to have that wild card weekend feel, but college football. You know what I mean? Do we get all the games in one day,
Mm.
or do they space them out over
They
multiple
gotta
days?
they gotta do it quick. I couldn't imagine them extending a college football playoffs into a break or into a school year type of deal.
Mm,
So I would think it would take up all from uh, right before Christmas to right after the second week of January.
yeah.
They probably would get rid of a lot of the bowl games for TVs. You know,
Or integrate certain bowl games as part of
a joint effort. Yeah, if
yeah.
like PlayStation came with the GoDaddy Bowl or something. I think having the playoff system and less bowl games uh, will be more enticing than having the same bowl games but having a playoff system.
Mm, yeah, I can see that.
Like a
No,
playoff game should be the Rose Bowl.
yeah, yeah. It should be very interesting, man. The chances of I think college football playoff, if done correctly, has the chance to have the same effect
They
from
won't
one.
replicate the NCAA basketball.
No, March Madness is no, no,
That's one of the few things the
no.
NCAA got right.
And they're talking about. I don't think they should do it, but they're talking about expanding March Madness to like
That's
80
greedy.
teams.
That's money. That's
That's
money.
money talking. That's definitely money talking, right? The play in on Tuesday and when Tuesday night is perfect, goes
Yeah,
right into Thursday. Just let it be, man. Some teams have to be hurt because they
but
sitting at home.
but you
It
don't want to
is
watch
what it
Kentucky
is.
get in there this year.
Man,
Oh,
look.
I'm not Kentucky. Who's the team that did not? Yeah, you didn't want to watch North Carolina try to get in.
No,
It was terrible this
they
year.
didn't deserve.
Yeah.
That's what they get for going to get, that's what they get for having transfers from Northwestern.
Yeah.
Going
We
to get
learned the lesson.
transfers from
Oh, I mean,
Northwestern.
you can't say that Ben Skoranek, man. Look, Super Bowl champ.
Boy, that's your go-to, boy. Ben Skoranek. That is your go-to. So,
Oh man.
yeah, that was interesting that you brought that up, and I thought it would be interesting because Notre Dame is going to be involved in that sort of wild card weekend of the expansion of the college football playoff, which means that big brand is really good business for them. And I know because Notre Dame's not in the conference That's the reason why they're keeping Notre Dame out of being able to be in the top four.
Of course.
But once they expand, having Notre Dame leading the way and the brand in that wild card weekend is good for business as well. It's good for business as well. So you know how much pressure is going to be relieved off of Notre Dame once the expansion happens? Like literally, Notre Dame's
Pressure,
schedule,
pressure, and what? In
they don't have to go undefeated.
yeah, going undefeated doesn't mean anything anymore.
They don't do. They don't have to feel like we have to go undefeated.
Yeah, we don't. I think it would change a lot about the respective recruiting for Notre Dame though. If we lose that expectation of being a 10-win team,
Hmm.
I think that would negatively impact recruiting because maybe guys would think it negatively impacts their draft status. Because if you 6-6, I feel like it's way harder to find a Q Nelson than it is to find a Q. Well, I'm not gonna use Q Nelson. It's a bad analogy. He could have played at Rutgers and been number one pick.
Facts.
Okay, well, or a guy like Alizé, right? On a 6-6 team, he wasn't on the 2018 team when they went all the way undefeated or whatever. But they stay 6-6. What is Alizé? Shoot, what is
Yeah.
Ian?
Yeah.
Ian definitely in no fourth round if he, middle of the road.
Right.
So, I think it has its impacts, but I don't think Marcus Freeman will look at it like, oh, we don't have to win 10, 11 games every year while he's there,
Right. That's totally different. I mean, you want to win every game without question, right?
But
You,
this
you
literally makes it a whole new season.
yes.
When it's 12 games or 12 teams, it's a whole new season.
Yeah.
Like you don't even care about the regular season. Like
No, not at all.
if anything,
Not
you
at
would have
all.
to make your schedule like that. Then that would be the only thing. How do you make the schedule tough enough to get into the 12 spots? Even though it sounds like because I don't think there's 12 great teams anyway every
Hmm.
year.
Right.
So being 6-6 wouldn't help us at all. So
Yeah. Yeah. Jason Smith, that's a great point. Like 10 wins, you definitely need 10 wins. But that's still Notre Dame comes in
shit,
every
maybe
year
8
now.
wins. 12 teams. I don't even think 12 teams won 10 games this year.
No, with Notre Dame not being connected to a conference, two losses max would be the most they should be allowed.
Because we can only finish at 5. We can only be at 5, right? Like the highest we can
Right.
go is a
Right.
first round home game.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, I think the potential of the college football playoff getting in that top three as far as playoffs, we'll see. We'll see because I think the early round games will have drama. They
Yeah,
will have drama.
of course. Of course.
And you'll still have Notre Dame and some other bigger brands connected to those playoff games. So it should be cool. Lucky Lefty Podcast. Make sure that you subscribe on our YouTube channel, Apple Podcast, Spotify, CFB Nation, in conjunction with Irish Breakdown, all of our great content. It's the Lucky Lefty Podcast. We spin it different. We're going to talk about the cornerback depth at Notre Dame and the style of play. The style of play at that position that's needed to win a national championship coming up shortly. It's the Lucky Lefty Podcast. Before we get to Mike Mickens and his crew left, I want to talk to you about something. We talked about recruiting basis the other day, right? And we used an article that talked about the SEC and each school's recruiting base and where they get most of their talent from. And it's amazing because there was buzz. The Notre Dame fans were in the chat yesterday when we played what Chris O'Leary said about Ben Minich. And after the show, comments were people was reaching out to us on Twitter and stuff. because Ben Minich and DJ Brown Chris O'Leary and DJ Brown were talking about Ben Minich, and we kind of mentioned him, briefly in our defensive spring practice report from Saturday. Just the fact that he was out there, he looked like he knew what he was doing as an early enrollee. And I really don't think people thought much of him, when he was offered by Notre Dame. And I said it today. Like hearing DJ Brown say, yo, dude has like 3 interceptions like this spring. He's making plays. And, Chris O'Leary talking about, man, the fact that he knows all of the information and is out there executing.
Who, Ben Minich?
Yeah. He was like, yo, he has a high ceiling and we're going to continue to develop that. Now, he said, this is your safety coach saying he has a high ceiling. Well, I don't know if a lot of people thought Ben Minich was a high ceiling prospect coming in Notre Dame. But, I kind of told people, like, when he was offered, we only had his junior film. And then he commits, and all of a sudden we started watching him during his senior season, and we're like, whoa. And we know the 5-star safety he's next to that's going to Ohio State.
Ohio State.
But every game on both sides of the ball in the fourth quarter, Ben Minich was the one making the plays. Now, one could say, yeah, but that's because they were going away from
That's fair.
the other safety. That's fair.
But that don't take away from him making the play. You don't have to poo-poo one for the other.
So Notre Dame might have found their next diamond in the rough, their next Harrison Smith, per se.
Harrison was underrated coming in?
I think Harrison was like a top 250. Let me see what Harrison was ranked. He was a 5-star out of Tennessee. He was 264 nationally, bro.
Okay.
264 nationally. That's why I said I thought he was like top 250. He was 264 nationally. So just think, like, he probably didn't come in with a lot of fanfare.
He's gonna get his opportunity though because it's Notre Dame. And the type of the program that Marcus Freeman is running, I know personally he'll probably really appreciate a guy of what Ben Minich is doing.
Yeah.
And that's being locked into the game plan. And that's hard to not play when you're bought in, when you know the information, the coaches trust you. They can take a chance that, he may not get there athletically all the time, but he's not going to not be there either.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't going to be missing. He'll be like, where he might get there a second or two late, or as a catch tackle, or got to work hard to break the ball up, but he's not just going to be open and then chasing from 5 yards away,
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is the most important thing anyway.
Absolutely, right? And you know how much when people are going to come after you because they don't want to go after your counterpart.
Yeah. Like if he was opposite of Kyle Hamilton, he would probably get a lot of action where we'd be like, man, we really found somebody over here because he's getting tried.
Yeah.
He's getting tried.
Yeah. And, we're definitely not sitting here saying he is the replacement or the person that's going to make you forget Peyton Bowen, because the Peyton Bowen thing hurts regardless. But in the same breath, like you said, you get a kid like that and he becomes something that, you hear high ceiling from the coach, as an early enrollee, that makes you feel good, so the buzz that came off of us playing that clip yesterday from people in the chat and people, after the show and everything, it's not shocking. Shouldn't be shocking. Because he changed the narrative that I had about him during his senior year. I was like, oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Bring him in.
Yeah.
Bring him in.
Yeah.
And that's why I chose flowers and gave flowers to the state of Ohio yesterday.
Well, I think you'll be surprised at a lot of things we can produce. We may not stand out in a ranking standpoint, but it's just like the combine
Yes,
and the NFL combine. The NFL combine is about freaks.
facts.
So if you 6'6" and 250 but run a 4.2, it don't matter what your tape is for this setting. Who cares? Your tape doesn't matter because you're a freak. You're getting drafted high. You're getting recruited high. You're a
Right.
5-star.
Right.
Keon Keeley. It's
Right.
like, bro, just look at you. We don't want to see you do no drills. You're a 5-star. Look at you. So yeah, like we may have big linemen.
See, that's why you like Deuce. That's why you like Deuce Knight.
Yeah, it's like, so what? So what?
So what? He's raw.
So what?
What?
Give him the ball, put him out there. Just
He's 6'5",
he's sick. He's huge, a freak.
cannon arm.
Yeah, what are we talking? Who cares what he knows at that point? Jamarcus Russell didn't know that much at LSU.
I don't know if that's the example you want to use
Man,
from
listen,
an NFL standpoint,
I
but
said it
from a
because
college
they're
standpoint,
both from the South, right? They both
yes. I believe they're both from the
yeah.
South.
So I'm like, okay, we've never had that, number one. And number two, that's talent. Come on, we coaches, right? We supposed to coach them up.
Yeah.
That's what I found out the difference of like offensive line, defensive line when I went to Florida from Notre Dame.
Yeah.
We had massive dudes at Florida. But after the first two practices, I'm like, oh, y'all just they literally went to the school and was like, who's the biggest freaking dude y'all got at school? We'll just offer.
That's all they just went and got the biggest dudes.
They just went and got the biggest, strongest, most freakiest, largest person and said, look, just put a jersey on, put your hand in the ground, and don't let the dude get past you. Where at Notre Dame, you got, okay, I see you recruited, you went to, and they got technique and all of that. At Florida, it was just like, man, you look like you're hard to get around. No tech, like the offensive line was offset, like it was just crazy. It was crazy.
That had to be.
But guess what?
An eye opener.
But that offensive line, guess what? Guess what about the offensive line? We had a first round tackle that just signed with the Chiefs, Wani Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
We got our guard, which was probably the least expected, 7-year vet right now with the Steelers. And I'm just like, yeah, okay, NFL is about freaks. If you're a freak, you're going. You're getting a chance.
So the NFL is the new freak league.
Oh, well, that's if you talk about like just outright getting drafted and you can complain later. But like a guy like Ben Minich doesn't survive in arenas like that know he's a number one pick or a really good player.
Yeah.
Because he's not 6'5" safety like the counterpart on his own high school team.
Yeah.
I would take the guy, over him. Like, I'm like, look at him. He's knocked the kid out the game, he looks the part. He wears number one, I would have probably never seen Ben Minich if I was recruiting.
No, probably not. So Mike Mickens has not only recruited at a high level development, his defensive backs get on the field and play early. Early on, it was out of necessity because the numbers in that room were, like we said 2 years ago, Cam Hart had to be moved over and asked to be the number one on that side of the ball, which is crazy. Right.
Can you get a guy to guard the best player on every team?
Which is like, yo, that's crazy. Not come over here and give us some depth.
Yeah, not come. We'll put you in on. Come and just guard Jordan Addison and Drake London, Caleb Downs, and then do a really good job because you're the number one guy.
Right from the jump. We're gonna give you one off season to make this transition.
Don't get hurt. Make sure you know everything.
You got to be a dude.
But how did we get lack of depth? Was it because we had our one-off really good DBs like Julian and Cole Luke?
No, it was just after that group of Julian, which came in at 16, right? The last year you were here, they were freshmen.
Okay, then you had I had the freshmen of Jalen Elliott, Troy Pride, Dante Vaughn, I had that group.
Julian Love was in that group. Dante Vaughn, Julian Love. They
I
were all
thought
in the
Julian
same
was.
group.
I thought Julian was a grade above.
No, he came in with Dante.
Oh, he left. He was 3 and out. Okay, he was just 3 and out.
So,
I mean, I guess that was a good class, but I mean,
the recruitment there just kind of took a left turn,
yeah.
right? But what's happening here, which we want to point out, why we said face to face at Notre Dame, you have to be able to play man to man defense on the backside in order to win championships. Period.
For a championship.
Yes. You watch Ohio State and Georgia play man to man.
It was intense.
Yo, and their defensive backfields were getting murdered in that game.
It's real.
But you had to play it. Right?
Yeah, because they got number one receivers.
You have to be able to play man to man, even if you get beat at key points. You have to be able to line up, play man to man, pressure the quarterback.
Because you don't get enough pressure playing zone in college football unless you're, Alabama or Georgia or whatever. So
right. That's why TCU was able to sit back and just react to Michigan, and then they tried to pull that crap against Georgia. Playing zone, it's like, no, bro. You are not about to beat Georgia.
Yeah, because they can run the ball. So now you're just like, oh man, this
you are not beating Georgia.
You're making us go to man, and it's not
absolutely. You are not beating Georgia playing zone, and that was part of the problem that Alabama suffered because they normally are able to play man to man. They're normally able to put one of their safeties in coverage, and they tried that on Jalen Hyatt against Tennessee, and Jalen Hyatt just scored another touchdown. Yeah, I think he's still scoring touchdowns against Alabama.
He was
you know what I'm saying? So this is one of those years.
But Jalen Hyatt, the number one receiver.
Yeah, he's not a number one receiver.
He's top 5.
Top 5 in what?
This draft class.
Not according to the latest mocks.
Huh?
He's been dropping.
Oh, okay. Well, if he's dropping, that's one thing. But he started high.
Oh, he started high. I mean, heck, you run a 4.2, you man.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what? In a tape, man. Well, anyway, I mean, nowadays you can just close your eyes and get a receiver that's pretty solid.
First of all, his tape, that's the problem. All he did was run fly routes all year, dude. That's the problem.
He's open. That's what Jalen Reagor did.
And Jalen Reagor was what in the pros?
A first round pick.
So, yes, he might end up getting the Jalen Reagor treatment where people
Will didn't run a crossing route. I don't even remember his whole career.
How many routes did Will run when he's at Notre Dame? That's a good question.
One. We didn't ever see
Will has run. No, Will has run crossing routes. He's run a comeback, a slant. I saw Will run slants. I saw him run a go. He definitely ran a post.
Post, slant, go, and a screen. That's it. He ain't run no croc. Come on. He didn't need to. How many routes did Julio run when he was in college? None.
Julio Jones?
Yeah. When him and AJ Green was in college, they were just running go routes.
So, yeah, as it sits right now, Jalen Hyatt is at number 77.
At the best receivers?
No, just total rank. He's ranked 77.
I'm talking about the receivers.
Which puts him like, man, maybe bottom of the second round, third round right now.
Yeah, you a top 10 receiver, right? If you second round, third round anyway.
Wide receiver rankings according to Fox. He is 6th.
See, there we go. He could be that bad. Plus, it's like the way they hating on Hendon Hooker, he's gonna be one of those guys that get an opportunity 2-3 years down the lane, possibly get a chance to start. It's crazy to see Jameis can't get no place to start or place to go.
Yeah, but you have to be.
Cam Newton, Jameis can't get no place to play.
That's why I loved what I saw from Benjamin Morrison on Saturday, where he just had the attitude, man, I don't even care about the play call. Y'all, I'm man to man.
Yeah.
Whatever y'all in, that's what y'all in. I'm I'm in everybody's face. And you have to have not only one, you have to have multiple guys that can do that. Christian Gray, who you saw a clip, ended the practice yesterday, I believe, with an interception.
Yeah.
You know, and get him ready. Right now, I don't know if they're going to give him the Jaden Mickey treatment and start him inside like they started Jaden Mickey. We told you how much more patient Jaden Mickey has become. So now you have Mickey, Clarence Lewis, Cam Hart, and Benjamin Morrison. You have four guys that you feel pretty comfortable with. Like, as much as you want to talk about Clarence Lewis, against most, if he's guarding the third or fourth best receiver,
Yeah,
I'm comfortable.
he wouldn't get the top 3.
He's not getting the top two. Yeah, so you feel comfortable with that. Jay Mickey, you know, you feel comfortable. You have Micah Bell still coming in and
Yeah, I
integrating him
forgot
in.
Michael Bell's coming in. He's fast as lightning.
Yeah. So I love what I see. I don't know. I've seen Christian in drills, man to man, bump and run, but he's so instinctive when you allow him to play off man coverage, especially to the field, because he reacts to that inside stuff so good. And he's just long.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting with his length. I can see him possibly being boundary first, boundary slot, and then being moved to the field. But Benjamin Morrison's got the field on lock for the next 2 seasons. So
Yeah.
so maybe Christian Gray becomes Cam's replacement next season. But where they're going with their defensive backs, even with Carson Hobbs in the 24 class, like you watch Carson Hobbs in his film, bump and run, in your face, trash talking. Like that's the type of athlete, confident athlete that Mike Mickens is getting in. You have to be able to transfer and change things in the defensive backfield, especially at cornerback. Because Notre Dame has been playing zone for so long at the cornerback position. left. Why'd you go ahead and lean back like that, bro?
Man, because one, that's true, but two, I think it was because it was more of a system thing. We had
Uh-huh.
Todd Light as our defensive back coach. The Todd Light. The first round Super Bowl Todd Light.
Mm-hmm.
Notre Dame great Todd Light.
Yeah.
And we ain't run man. That's when I was like, oh, we not serious about defensive backs, bro. We had our guy, Coach Burris, Chef Burris,
Mm-hmm.
him and Todd Light at the same time.
Coach Burr's down in Louisiana now.
The same damn time. And didn't run man. After that, I was like, I'm done thinking about it. Because what is that? If you can't run man when you got the greatest, one of the greatest, two of some of the best secondary to come through Notre Dame,
Yeah.
and they don't have no knowledge on how to make our man better, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. So I'm not saying it's not their fault, but I'm not saying that it's their fault either.
Yeah. Saying pass defense, you just can't go by pass yards. I will say that Kirby probably had his safeties were young last year because he lost his safeties to the NFL. Kelly Ringo was. I know they said he was a first round talent. He's probably gonna end up going in the second round.
He don't have first round instincts. But he
No,
looks the part.
no, but he was a number one for them.
Yeah, and he looks the
Yeah.
part for sure.
He was a number. He's big enough. He probably needs to be a
He's a
safety on the
freak.
next level.
That's what I'm saying. He's a freak. He's not.
So they
he's
just
not.
went to the school and was like,
Yeah, they were just like, come on, man. You run a what in the track, and you about
yeah,
6'3" and
yeah,
huge.
yeah, yeah,
He's definitely has to be a safety in
yeah,
NFL, but you the biggest, strongest, fastest corner at Georgia. Come on. NFL don't even want to turn on the tape. And he had a
yeah.
good season. I mean, he had 2 picks, a pick 6 in the championship, all that. But
But it just
yeah.
goes to show you. It just goes to show you, man, that they are mentality, right? Kirby was like, "You the number one. I don't care how many times you get beat.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
better,
yeah. He
you
would
better
get
get it
beat.
right. You better
Yeah.
get it right." Because
And you stood there and press up.
Marvin Harrison Jr. was killing that dude.
Killing him.
Marvin Harrison Jr. was having his way. You hear me? You know how
And
you in
he made
church,
him press the whole
you
time.
in you in church and you wave your hands and you say, "Have your way, Lord."
Lord have mercy. Yeah, it was just
Man, that was Marvin Harrison Jr. in that game, that Peach Bowl. Have your way, boy.
getting cooked.
If he didn't catch that hit on the back line of the end zone, Kelly Ringo might be a third round pick today, bro.
No,
It was
seriously.
it was
It
that
was that,
bad.
it was that bad. No, for real.
It
But
was
he
that
got
bad.
cooked like that when they lost to Alabama too.
Yes, he did.
When them
Yes, he
receivers was
did.
healthy over
In
there,
the SEC championship game. Yes, he did.
the same. So that's what I'm like.
Yes,
He
he
needs to be
did.
safety in the pro.
But even with that, there's still a mentality
Oh yeah,
that says, "Yo, you're gonna beat us. If you're a good quarterback, good receivers, you can beat us."
we'll live
But,
with that.
well, guess what's not about to happen? You're not about to
We're not
just
about
run
to adjust.
it. Right. You're not about to just run free all day. That's not happening. And that's why Tennessee struggled. Because Kirby was like, look, everybody else is just letting y'all run free. Uh, Not today.
Y'all may beat us sometime doing it,
Yeah.
but
You might beat us, but Hendon Hooker is about to get hit.
and that's gonna change the game.
You know, and if he hits one, he hits one. But he's gonna have to hit a whole bunch of them perfect in
Perfect.
order to
We hitting
win.
him.
Right.
We hitting him.
Exactly. And that's why, having that mentality on the backside, right? Which if you hear a kid like Ben Minich has a high ceiling, and now your safeties can get involved in the pass coverage, especially when they go to multiple wide receivers. Now you feel confident about the different things you can do, the different blitzes you can bring, and then like people said, Georgia just has the capability of bringing pressure with minimal, with three. We're just gonna bring three.
Yeah, so schematically, you have no chance.
Absolutely.
You don't have enough plays in the world to beat 8-man dropping coverage.
No. And hopefully Notre Dame with the 24 recruiting, 25 recruiting and defensive line, especially in the city of Chicago.
That's right. Ben Minich is the type of guy though that he won't miss up those safety blitzes. No, seriously, like he'll be timing it right.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
won't be seeing it pre-snap on a crucial play of the game where you're like, wait. Don't go down there. Wait, and get beat.
Right.
He's gonna time it where he was like, man, that was a great call.
Uh-oh. There's the co-host with the most. Little left. Hey, so as we get ready to get out of here, left, that's one thing we wanted to talk about. Like how Notre Dame is doing a tremendous job shifting the defensive backfield to be more national championship minded and getting the athletes to execute it. And hopefully that's one of the things we'll be able to see defensively this year is a defensive backfield that can match up against Ohio State, against
the
USC,
SC, against Clemson.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. As much as we want to talk about Sam Hartman, that defensive backfield has to be able to stand up because once we found out going into SC week that Tariq Bracy and Cam Hart were going to be out.
Yeah, I don't even want to watch the game.
Yeah, you already knew. You already knew what the possible outcome is going to be. Before we get out of here, article in The Athletic, re-ranking the class of 2020, re-ranking the class of 2020. Now, this is a class that you actually watched at the Elite 11.
Okay, now the 220
That
class is Tyler Buckner, right?
no 220 class is Bryce Young, CJ
Oh,
Stroud.
yeah. I
Yeah,
watched him personally for
yeah,
sure.
you watched them personally.
And I watched CJ Stroud win the Elite 11. I gave him his overtime sweatshirt, which was the one on my back. And I was like, I know you're going to go to the league because he was going to Ohio State. And I'm like, it made sense.
Yeah.
That's when I met Michael Mayer and Drew Pine. That's crazy you said that.
So Bryce Young was ranked number 1. Currently, he's ranked number 2 at
Behind
the
Bryce.
position behind CJ. CJ is ranked number 1, and he's currently. I'm sorry. See, Bryce was ranked number 1 coming out of high school. He's still ranked number 1. CJ was ranked number 3 coming out of high school. He's currently ranked number 2. The number 3 quarterback from that class, according to the Athletic, is Michael Pratt out of Tulane. At the time, he was ranked 82nd coming out of high school. The number 4 quarterback from that class is Will Rogers of Mississippi State. He was ranked 22nd at the time. The number 5 ranked quarterback in the 2020 class is Anthony Richardson. He was ranked 15th coming out of high school. The number 6 quarterback is Jaden DeLaura from Arizona. He was ranked the 34th quarterback. The 7th ranked quarterback is Tyler Van Dyke, and he was ranked 7th coming out of high school. The number 8 quarterback was Blake Shapen. He was ranked 52nd coming out of high school. The 9th ranked quarterback out of the 2020 class is Will Howard, Kansas State. Will Howard has been impressive, especially last year. He was ranked 59th coming out of high school. And the number 10 ranked quarterback out of the 2020 class is DJ Uagalele. He was ranked the number 2 quarterback in that class behind Bryce. So just let that be a lesson.
That unless you have real talent like CJ or Bryce, you better go to the right school.
You better go to the right school. That you know what?
Go to the right school.
Yeah. You said that. You said that. Now, the others that you have to watch because they still have time to change the narrative. Carson Beck, who gets an opportunity to start at Georgia. Chandler Morris, who will be starting at TCU after transferring from Oklahoma. And then Hudson Card at Purdue after he transferred from Texas. The rest of the top 10, Jaquindon Jackson. Do you remember him?
Oh yeah, he went to what school did he go to?
He went to Texas and then went to
Utah
after that.
No chance because of Arch, and then Utah, no chance because of they. Come on, you're not Brett Hundley.
Yeah. Do you remember the number 6 ranked quarterback that was at the Elite 11? Luke Doty.
Yeah, they love Luke Doty. They try to hype Luke Doty up all the time. I'm like, Luke Doty is nothing significant, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah, he went 3 years to South Carolina.
Yeah.
And he still will be the backup to Spencer Rattler this year.
Yeah. Come on. No, hey, that's an example of wrong fit.
Yep. The number 7 quarterback that you watched at the Elite 11, Harrison Bailey.
Yep, they was hype on Harrison Bailey too, and he went to Baylor, right? Oh no.
He ended up a true freshman at Tennessee.
Tennessee, that's right. He went to Tennessee.
2 seasons there.
Yep.
And then he landed at UNLV.
Yep. He didn't have enough talent at the time of what they was recruiting because Joe Milton ended up going there, and then they end up getting the transfers.
So let me tell you something, man. When it comes to quarterbacks, and I fully believe that Notre Dame has changed the narrative of the quarterback room, with first of all, hiring a quarterback coach, number 1. Getting the blessing that was Kenny Minchie late in the process in 23, having CJ Carr, who's on, if I'm not mistaken, CJ Carr is on campus today.
There we go.
or was on campus at practice today, along with our guy Cam Williams. And then, so all you CJ Carr people that were worried about him, and he's on campus with Cam Williams today. And then a guy like Deuce Knight in the 25 class. Like, I see the talent that they're going after being totally different than the talent level of quarterback that we've seen before at Notre Dame. So
yes, and the potential is a lot greater.
yeah,
If you get a guy like Deuce Knight mixed in with a guy like CJ and Kenny, you got something dynamic that you can be like, well, if we're not good this year, we're gonna be good one of these years because some of these guys are gonna develop.
definitely. Notre Dame, and thank you for checking in. Quarterback development is paramount over high school rankings. You're right about
It
that.
is paramount over everything. You got to go to the right place.
Let's go through these questions and then we'll get out of here, love. Going back to our original conversation, a lot of people had things to say. Garrett Newsom said, as long as my score is less than what I paid for balls, I'm good. Yeah, if you pay $70 for balls and you shoot a 60, hey, it's all good. I'm with you. Cajun Irish said Nike is now more in golf equipment. Yeah. They can thank Tiger Woods for that. He exploded. He exploded the Nike golf division. The Nike golf division was nothing. Nothing, bro. Nothing. And Tiger Woods exploded all of that. Cajun Irish says Pro Bs are $50 plus a dozen nowadays. Yeah. Man, just get some pinnacles when you start out.
Get
some pinnacle balls, bro.
Okay. Don't get too fancy to be losing them.
No. Matter of fact, you can go get some used balls. If they have used balls, get the used balls.
Because you're not hitting it past too far. You're not getting the 300 per
And I know when I said that somebody out there was crazy enough to say pause. I know they did, but
you know how it go.
You lose 50% of the package while playing. You so crazy, J. Carr. Old Grim, I use ping irons and Cobra woods. Okay, so you mix match. I don't like mixed matching, bro. Although my wedges, see, I'm about to mess you up. I say, look.
Although my wedges need to be replaced too.
No. Let your wedges come with your, whatever you buy, use the wedges until you get good. And then when you get good, then you switch to the Cleveland wedges.
Got it.
Okay, but until then, you don't need Cleveland wedges. Relax.
Get the most basic package first.
Yes. Irishman, the little big house hunter hater said, telling fiance that SD said I need, not want, but need newer fishing gear. All right, I got you, man. I got you. I'm behind you all the way. Garrett Newsom, Mizuno is in many pro backs. They are. Mizuno has come up a lot. Because I was used to seeing Mizuno playing baseball. Like Mizuno bats.
Oh, for the baseball bats, yeah.
Baseball bats and stuff. But Mizuno really has come along with golf technology lately. I have the 2004 clubs, bro. That lets you know.
Yeah.
I need and I deserve.
Update. A refresh.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I deserve. There you go.
We appreciate you, bro. Appreciate
right.
you. We try to give you the best content each and every day, man. Lucky Lefty podcast, man. Wilson is a go-to classic.
Yeah.
They've been around in golf for
in tennis too.
Hey, now this is a crazy thing. Hey, Roger Dodger is correct. The Jordan, because they take the actual Jordan shoes and just put golf.
Yeah.
Bruh. They almost got me.
Got you get a whole fresh set of the same shoes.
I was about to get some nice. They had the Jordan 4s, golf shoes.
The cement 4s?
Yeah, the cement joints. I said, I got to stop myself.
Would have bought them.
You would have bought them left?
Would have bought them. Make me like Mike.
You know what's up?
Like Mike.
Petticoat. Petticoat. Petticoat Junction.
It's time to get petty.
Oh, we did a good job executing.
Are you upset with something?
And fire up the Petticoat Junction train.
I just don't like you. You don't? No.
What is today's petty historic? Petty Junction.
Petty Junction, pettiest story of the day, brought to you by Onora Whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com, that premium American whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. Michael Parks, you're spot on, man. Spot on. Mizuno was all over baseball. Mizuno and Easton, you know, the Black Bats. Yes, back in the day, I remember that. Hey, man, I want to nominate Russ Westbrook for the petty train. Russ had a little extra mustard on his he had a little extra mustard last night, bro.
I always point at Bron. Like, ain't nobody paying attention to you, Russell Westbrook. I'm like, why are you trying to gain? You not Pat Bev. LeBron only go back with Pat Bev because that's our boy. That's our homeboy. But Russ, what you doing? I traded you. If I'm LeBron, I'm like, I traded you.
Not I traded you, bro. Man. I traded you, bro? Really?
Yeah. Because you pointing every time you make a little basket, but you can't do it when you with the Lakers. Come on, man.
So this cat Isaiah Thomas is still talking, man. This dude responded to Charles Oakley this morning.
He responded to him?
Like, man, shut up.
Let it go.
I tell you, he keeps embarrassing
What does he even
Chicago.
have to say back to Charles Oakley? It's like Charles is talking on behalf of someone who didn't want to talk to you.
Dude, his response was like out of left field. Charles Oakley was like, dude, the dude doesn't want a relationship with you.
Yeah,
You mad because he took your city. You know what his response was? How many times I whoop you? And that's not even the conversation. What are you talking about? That just lets you know. That lets you know.
He's better. He's a scorned ex.
Yes. Somebody needs to tell him, look, man.
What did he say? How many times I whoop you? He like,
how many times I beat you? You was on plenty of teams that I whooped. I'm like, bro, you just lost all credibility.
Yeah.
That was not even.
We're going to have to take you off the 75 team now.
Man, you already got cut.
Or going to make a call and be like, I'll take him off of this too. You done ruined this too.
Man. Dude. No, Coach Vic. He's not from he's actually literally from the west side of Chicago, right off Madison Avenue. Literally. The Thomas house is still right there, the apartment building on Madison Avenue. But he is embarrassed in Chicago right now. He is embarrassed in Chicago.
Because he won't stop.
It's absolutely crazy. So I will say LL, let me know, because I'm thinking about starting a basketball podcast for Notre Dame basketball on our network. You guys let me know if you want that content. Like respond in the chat and then after the show. Anisha Morrow, who is a 2-year, she's a sophomore, star player at DePaul. Look for Neil Ivy. She just entered the transfer portal. She's a Chicago girl. She's a forward. She's a man.
Come on, Niel. Come on, Niel. They're in the backyard, Niel.
Of course, she went to Simeon. So you already know. You already know.
No way around the basketball.
You already know. Averages 18 points. And there's buzz that Neil Ivy has already been in contact, right? And I'm just giving you this news because there were multiple people in the chat yesterday asking about updates on what Michael Shrewsbury has been doing. Joe Girard, point guard from Syracuse, has been in contact with Michael Shrewsbury and Notre Dame.
Has some East Coast influence on the team. We might do something.
If we get freshman Joe Girard, I'm cool with it. If we get Joe Girard from last year, I don't know about that one.
Just need a fresh start.
I don't know about that one. All right. He can shoot. He's supposed to be a shooter. So Michael Shrewsbury is trying to build. I told you he was going to bring shooting to the program. That's the first thing I told you. Oh, he's going to have some shooters. So we'll see. Notre Dame, Michael Shrewsbury shooting. No update on the shoe deal and the apparel deal. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. All right, Left. It's a great show, man. Don't spend too much money on your first golf set, dude. Just don't.
You got me weary now. I had to
Don't,
take
don't
a second
yeah.
mortgage out.
But I already know you, though.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about you in golf clubs. Or you in the apparel. The apparel is going to be the problem for you,
That'll be the
especially the
problem.
hats.
I'm gonna
Especially
be
the
too
hats.
fresh. I can't even golf, man.
Especially the hats.
Don't let me
Oh.
get a glove too, because I seen them rock a glove every now and then.
But see, you'll get past the gloves because once you realize they all get sweaty and crusty,
Okay.
then you're going to be like, you know what? I'm not spending money on a glove. At first, you're going to be like, I want to feel funky fresh. And then when you realize they all get sweaty and crusty and
Not worth it.
nah. But yeah, tell me about that apparel bill moving forward. Everybody have a great Thursday, man. We'll talk about snowfall tomorrow because I didn't ask you whether or not you watched it. And then we'll get into more right here on the Lucky Lefty podcast. Have a great Thursday, but most of all, make sure you spend it different.